Okay, my name's Zakashi guys, and in this video here we are going to be discussing the possible characters we could seriously get for the Ultra that we could get in part 3. This is obviously a big discussion. The minute the part 2 characters come out, it's about what's next. Always about what's next. We gotta keep moving. We're very fast paced. We're just putting the timer up for when part 3 will begin. They're obviously gonna do reveals and stuff and drop an amazing Ultra. But who is it going to be? You might think this, you might think that. I'm gonna list all the possibles that I think is seriously on the table for the final part of the 6th anniversary, and then at the end I'm going to give a conclusion on what I think is most likely, and I'll also say what I want outside of what I think is actually going to be the case. So there's no more talking needed for this video. Let's get straight into this. Let's start off with a banger here. We got Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now this might be one that's like, what? No way they're going to drop a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But yes way, I think it's very possible that they drop a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now let me explain why. We've already got 2 parts of the anniversary. In part 1, there was Buu Saga. Part 2, there was Buu Saga. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Super Vegito is Buu Saga and Ultimate Gohan is Buu Saga. Part 2 and part 1 also had movies somewhat. Part 2, we have the Super Saiyan God Goku. Don't know why I went backwards, but it does count as Beerus Saga because it was part of the episodes as well. And then part 1, we got Gogeta, who's obviously from the Broly movie. Now, I think with the Buu Saga, it's like kind of the last turning point pretty much. Not literally, but you know what I mean. It's like the last big thing that happens before pretty much Super, in my opinion anyways. So I think it could be good to get a Super Saiyan 3 Goku for that reason. But let's put that aside. Let's see if you have your disagreements, because you know obviously end of Z. I think because they've already sprinkled a lot of Buu Saga into the game, and they also Zenkai'd Kid Buu, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is fitting. He could also have a very good mechanic, the first unit in the game to have a multiple transformation. You know, going Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3. Also sprinkling in a bit more, there's these equipment in the game. If I put it on the screen, it'd be better for you to understand, but a lot of guys will know what I'm talking about. There's this one Super Saiyan 3 Goku equipment, and it has an awakened version where, depending on what Super Saiyan you have on the battlefield, you will get a certain buff. So if you have a Super Saiyan 1, just Super Saiyan, you will get this certain buff. If you have a Super Saiyan 2, you'll get this certain buff. And if you have a Super Saiyan 3, you will get these certain buffs. And the fact that Equips works right, that could really run with the idea that we'll get our first multiple transforming character. I think that's the only way that Super Saiyan 3 Goku would make a very fascinating Ultra. But I also just want to sprinkle in the fact that they could actually just make anybody an Ultra. We have Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku as an Ultra. Super Saiyan 3 is not off the cards. We've got Buu Saga twice already. This would be literally just the finisher pretty much. Even though they did start with Super Vegeta, which would be like the pinnacle, I think the protagonist Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku as well, is always fitting for a celebration no matter what time it is. So for the people that might downplay this, I think it's a very valuable option for the anniversary finale. Ironic that I go from Super Saiyan 3 Goku to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but of course Super Saiyan 4 Goku is pretty much a must. They've been pretty much buffing GT this whole year. We've got so many GT characters. We got what? Bomku, Super 17, Super Baby 2. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but let's look at the 1%. We got Bulla, Pan, and I feel like I'm also missing somebody. But you can see that's 5 off the top of my head, but I believe there's like 7 or 8. I just can't, my brain's not working right now. So let me slide. But cool. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, again, it's Goku. As much as people love or hate, it doesn't even matter which way you go. As much as a lot of people hate seeing Son family get buffs, but as much as people love seeing Son family get buffs, no matter what side you're on, ultimately Goku is the main character, and having him be a finale for a headliner just makes sense. It just makes sense. It does. We've also had a lot of like GT in celebrations already. Tag 4s, I believe very early into the game, maybe like in the first Christmas or something, they dropped the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. It just makes sense. He's obviously celebration worthy because they've shown traits of it in the past. In the 2nd anniversary, they dropped a full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku as a 1%. It's possible. It just shows that it's possible. It doesn't matter if you disagree or not. Objectively, it has a consistent trait of showing, Super Saiyan 4 has a consistent trait of showing up in celebrations. So I think as an Ultra, very much worthy. Even before, I believe it's the 3rd anniversary, I think, if my memory serving me correct, I think it's the 4th anniversary actually. I think they dropped an LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He was mid, but his Zenkai though. told you I was talking about he was a one-shot demon or something like that, but he just wasn't until his Zenkai though. But cool. I shouldn't really have to go back into more detail, but Super Saiyan 4, it's just a very, very like good design as well. And I think depending on how they do the ink art, it would be super, super cool. And just look at this pose. I know my head's blocking it, but okay, cool, we're good. Just look at the pose, man. I had to bring up the Reddit for this one. This pose is crazy. That would be an amazing ultra art, man. Definitely cook up in my opinion. Right, so this one's obviously a highly anticipated one. Similar reasons for why I mentioned Super Saiyan 4 with the GT aspects and whatnot, as in Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But of course, this guy's a fusion warrior. Now, I don't know how likely this is now, simply because they've already dropped a Gogeta. Would they drop 2 Gogetas in one anniversary? I don't know. The devs are kind of like, woo, they know how to rile up the anniversary if they want to. But in general, this unit here, it would be the most powerful thing to come out of GT, objectively the case. So if they were to drop a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you know it go crazy. They always buff up the fan service with how he looks with his animations. Just look at how they did Super Vegeta. You think they're not going to go do Gogeta 10 times better? They definitely will if they drop the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I think it would go insane. The design is good. His attacks are powerful. It's a fusion warrior, so it's going to be hype. We've already seen so much hype with the fusion warriors. As much as people try to downplay them and say it's boring, part 1 literally had people's mind blown, given that we have a Gogeta and Vegito. So drop a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to end it off, give GT their buffs, but on top of that, just another fusion warrior to bring up the hype. It's really something that they could easily do to make a lot of money, but also have a lot of people wanting to play the game. People have been waiting for this for a long time as well. People were predicting it for the festival when they dropped Ultra UI, but instead 2024 is supposedly the year for GT. So if this unit was to drop for the finale of the anniversary, I don't think it's ridiculous. We've already got so many GT buffs. Let's not even think about talk about the platinum equipment for Omega Shenron that just dropped the first ultra platinum equipment, a new rarity of plats just for Ultra Omega Shenron. Come on, man. Let's really call it what it is. This guy is very likely. But on top of that, he would just be super hype as well. So let's put him on the table. He's one of those guys that we should be expecting. Fusion Zamasu. Now, this one's kind of a backdoor option, but it is on the table. As much as I wouldn't want to admit it, they've dropped some future stuff behind the scene. There's no way they dropped a Vegito Blue platinum equipment for no reason. I just don't see it. There's no way they dropped the CMZ Zenkai for just no reason. I just don't see it. This guy's an Ultra. People were kind of foreshadowing him last year, saying that, oh, they're going to drop Ultra Vegito Blue. Nah, they're going to drop Fusion Zamasu, or they're going to drop both. They obviously dropped Ultra Vegito Blue. So this guy would be left on the shelf. You know, nobody got him. The hype for him died down. The Fusion Zamasu fans were all killed off. They were all bums anyways. But this guy here, he does have some relevancy right now, because they're not going to drop another Ultra Vegito Blue. If they do that, I'll be in tears. But very likely did not, it would be this guy. Maybe another synchro unit, I don't know. It doesn't really matter how they go about it, but there has been hints of a future in the anniversary, so it would make a lot of sense for them to drop a Fusion Zamasu. I think we already have an LF Corrupted Zamasu. We do have a 1% of this guy, but I think an Ultra of this guy would also make good work. It doesn't even have to be like a standalone. Like, he could be a fusing type, it could be a synchro type, it could be, I don't know, he could start like this then get corrupted. However they go about it, it doesn't really matter. I think as long as they drop a Fusion Zamasu, it would relate to the fact that they've dropped future hints, and people would obviously be hyped for that. Would he be enough to carry the hype for the anniversary? I don't think so. But the objective truth is, it's not like he's not a contender. So I'm bringing him up for the video, because for me to say that he's not relevant right now or possibly an option would be ludicrous in my opinion. Margin Vegeta, obviously the Buu Saga. Already spoke about this slightly when I mentioned Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This guy obviously has some value, you could say. Now, me personally, I don't think he's very much anniversary hype level. Vegeta, I don't think he would be a good choice to finish off the anniversary especially. We've seen a lot of bad traits with Vegeta units in the past. I think the only ones to beat the curse really, recently they've actually been beating the curse. We've had Gogeta and Vegito, but of course if they're Gogeta and Vegito, Vegeta being on the unit is not holding them back that much, you know? We have Nappa and Vegeta. That's actually a good solo Vegeta unit, so we can respect that one. Evoken lasted, what, under a month, unfortunately. But they were good for the time. They were top 1 and 2. So with all this Vegeta clan kind of sprinkled all the way around, I think if they drop the Ultra Margin Vegeta, it could actually make Vegeta clan a top 3 team immediately. You put Ultra Margin Vegeta out, you know, with the fact that they've already dropped a lot of Boo Saga, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. They have also dropped a bit of Vegeta clan. So they dropped 2 Fusion Warriors that are Vegeta clan, Fusion Gogeta, Fusion Vegito. It just makes sense. They dropped Nappa and Vegeta. It just makes sense. And then they dropped this guy. They put a lot of those other characters on the banner. So they put Evoken on the banner. Evoken's value goes up. Ultra Margin Vegeta is obviously going to be the selling unit. It's behind the scenes, but if it came out, I would be like, it just makes sense. I'm not rooting for it, but it just makes sense. Nobody can tell me it doesn't make sense. But do I personally think it's anniversary hype level? Not really, but it's very possible. I'm not going to lie. I think if they dropped the Ultra Margin Vegeta, they wouldn't drop him by himself. It would be alongside another unit potentially. So it'd be 2 Ultras, which is not what I want. But it's something that is possible, so I'm just going to put it out there. Now, MUI Goku is also in the conversation. People have just randomly been saying that, obviously he's hype enough. He's one of the most hype things to come out of Dragon Ball, if not the hype thing, the most hype thing. But people have been saying they haven't dropped anything Universe Rep, so they're just going to randomly drop this guy as the first buff for Universe Rep. That's possible. It's always possible. You don't know what they're going to bring out. People were saying it's only going to be Vegeta for the anniversary and Super Saiyan God Goku. Next thing you know, we got a Gogeta Blue. So this is possible. They have been buffing God Ki though. Let's look at that. They have been buffing God Ki. So this is not a ridiculous drop in my opinion. I think a lot of people would go for this. A lot of people summon this. It will definitely break the game. But one thing I will say is that if it is going to be MUI Goku, it's going to leak. So I'm not pushing for this because it will probably leak in the near future. So I don't need to make a prediction if it leaks. You know, every UI Goku except maybe one has leaked. Even that one, I think it leaked. So the rev side. So really and truly, it's not something that I need to predict. So which is why I'm against it. If it is going to be MUI Goku, it's going to be a leak. Like I would bet a lot of money that if it's MUI Goku, it would leak before it releases. But they have been buffing God Ki. That's the main reason. There's no universe rep, so they randomly go boop. This is your first and only buff for the year. But they didn't buff GT at all last year, so maybe they might flip the tables and not the universe rep at all this year. That's just a wild assumption though. Universe rep is too hyped to not get a whole year of buffs in my opinion. They'll drop at least one thing. But hey, maybe we might get this guy in the festival. But it's not impossible for the anniversary. This is going to be the last one, and it could be a Legends original that they drop, right? I don't think this is likely, just want to put that out there. But I know Dokkan have a Beast and Orange Piccolo, right? I think this might even be the Beast and Orange Piccolo from Dokkan Battle, yes. I believe they also have a tag unit from them. This is a separate one, I think, but they do have a duo unit that works together. I'm not a Dokkan guy, so you guys can inform in the comment section. But in general, it would make it a game originals kind of because they did not completely work together. Like they weren't battling together. And I believe in Dokkan, they both do the special beam cannon together. If they had them do that in Legends, it'd obviously make it a game originals or Legends originals, which would make it a lot more hype. We already have 2 Beast Gohans in the game. We could also just get an Ultra Beast Gohan alone. We're not getting an Ultra Piccolo. Let's get that real. But if it was to be together, it would be the first Ultra Tag unit that we have. Just making sure we don't have an Ultra Tag unit. Just making sure we don't. So that's also something that we could get where they're both like in their prime state and it will actually be super OP. We also already had 2 movies parts. Technically, if you include the Beerus Saga, I believe God Goku does buff movies anyways. So that also makes a lot of sense, you know. It's not widely out there. It's not my personal pick, but I think it's very much possible. It was in the discussion as a Legends Limited as well, because people were expecting to get a Legends Original for part 2, but we just didn't. So let's also point out Bardock and Goku randomly returning. Kind of makes it scary, you know, that this is actually possible, but hey, it's not impossible is what I want to write down. It's not impossible, and I think that's the main thing to know. Alright, so I think I should go into what I want the most, then I'll say what's most likely. So obviously what I want the most should go without saying, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Just drop it already, just drop the unit already. We've had enough of GT, you know, you can just do GT half the year. I don't think people want a whole year of GT if we're being real. For the first half, hey, you had us in the first half. We can clap it up after you drop Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, then you can just give us like Ultra Beast or Ultra MUI in the festival and we'll be chill. I think that's a good way to go about it, you know? I don't think it's ridiculous at all, at all. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, they've been buffing up GT, just finish the job, you know? The job's not finished, but if they drop G4, the job's finished, you know? You don't need anything else. You already got Ultra Mega in the game, even though he's free to play. We got good GT units available. They dropped a lot. Super 17, Bomb Q, put a lot of these guys, just sprinkle them on the banner, kind of. Not all of them, maybe not Super Baby 2, because he's actually insane if you get him high star. Just put Bomb Q or something on the banner and we'll be chilling. Put Tag 4s on that banner, we'll be chilling. You know, the banner will cook up for sure. And then, of course, the unit will be top 1 in the game. That's just how it's meant to be. It's meant to be a fusion warrior that takes over. It's nothing that spectacular, you know, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. Just do what you were meant to do because GT was meant to be this year, but it doesn't need to be the whole year, in my opinion. On top of the fact that Spark and Zero is coming out, Dime is coming out, so I think they've got the second half planned for something else. They're definitely just going to finish the job. In my opinion, that's what I'd want the most. They're just going to finish the job, and then the second half of the year will be dedicated to other stuff. I think Dime is going to carry a bit, and then the festival will be a lot more hype. That's what I think. I don't think they're going to carry on GT throughout the end of the year. I think it'll just be half the year, and it'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? Especially because, obviously, G4 is like the pinnacle of power for GT. Just call it what it is. Pinnacle of hype as well. Call it what it is. That's my opinion on what I'd want, what I think would make the most sense. But of course, they might not do that. Now, if you're asking me what's most likely, I would probably go, no joke, Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I think the multiple transformation gimmick with the fact that they've already dropped a bunch of Boost Saga just makes sense. They're doing the powerful opponent thing with like the Zenkai CMZ, Kid Buu getting a, you know, Zenkai. They gave Omega Shenron a Plat. I think all of that is to just keep the powerful opponent side of the game healthy while they're giving all the hype to the Saiyan Son family type of thing. Second half of the year might be different, but Super Saiyan 3 Goku would be a good way to finish it off. And I do know that Super Saiyan 3 Goku is hyping up for the anniversary because they literally dropped Dragon Fist prior. They hyped it up as well, said the most iconic moment or something like that in Dragon Ball. So if we're looking at it for what it is, Super Saiyan 3 Goku has a lot of stocks in the dev's office. They also do Super Saiyan 3 Goku a lot of injustice. So if they were to make him the finale character and actually make him good, that would be a complete turn of tides, considering we've also had a lot of good Vegeta clan units this year. Gogeta, Vegito, Vegeta, Nappa. Those are 3 really good Vegeta clan units. So let's just do the same thing with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We've already dropped a lot of Boost Saga. Let's get the job done with that aspect. I think if I was to actually look at it logically, Super Saiyan 3 Goku would fit the agenda that they've been filling out so far. So I'm not against that at all. I'm not against that at all. If I had to bet money, I wouldn't bet money because I really don't know what it's going to be. But I feel like Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a very logical option where it embodies what they've already been pushing out, on top of the fact that there's a lot of hype with the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. Would it be as hype as other things like Vegeta, etc.? I don't think so, but it's the main character, so it would sell. And if they give him an insane gimmick where he transforms multiple times, 100% it's going to sell, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. Multiple transformations and he's just getting more powerful every single time. That's the one way to keep Super Saiyan 3 going. I also like to say that the devs, I've mentioned this so many times in previous videos, the devs build characters based on how they did in the anime. There's always something that relates to them, something that's in their kit that is based off what happened in the anime. I always like to say Super Saiyan 3 is a powerful transformation that burns out very quickly, so all the Super Saiyan 3 transformations, besides maybe one, have been pretty much trash. Premium characters of Super Saiyan 3. So this is one where if he's multiple transforming, he's building up consistently and they can just take that segment of him, you know, powering up to make his kit the gimmick. His gimmick have the kit. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is my logical line of thought, train of thought when I'm picking what the Ultra would be, assuming there's only going to be one. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, man. These are just my thoughts. Of course, you might think differently, and if you do, let me know in the comment section below. Do you agree with anything I said? Do you disagree with anything I said? Is there something that you might think would come as an Ultra for part 3 that I haven't listed in the video yet? Let me know, man. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.